17 July 2024, and today I am excited to be giving you yet another update on what's happening across Zimbabwe. So all our platforms are live right now, and I would like to thank everyone for their support. So today I'm going to quickly run through what is happening across Zimbabwe, and then we'll see if there is anything that I can give in terms of my comments on what is happening around our country. So let us start with some few pictures. And I want to start with the story of Mnangagwa. So Mnangagwa has been trending this weekend because many people in ZANU-PF, in Masvingo, in the Midlands, and in Mashonaland East have said that they want Mnangagwa to stay for a third term. However, Mnangagwa has forced newspapers, for example, the Newsday newspaper, to apologize for saying this. So if you go into today's newspaper, into the Newsday newspaper, they've been forced to apologize for the story that they carried on Mnangagwa's third term. And this is very odd. You must look at this story here, where the Newsday newspaper is apologizing to Mnangagwa. Let's see what they're saying here. On July 13, the Newsday published a story entitled "ED has no intention of stepping down." So this story is very interesting because for sure Mnangagwa doesn't want to step down. Mnangagwa wants to stay in office forever. And this has been said by close allies, people who are very close to Mnangagwa, and we have carried this almost on a daily basis since this started over the weekend. So I think Mnangagwa is trying to force this newspaper. This newspaper belongs to Mnangagwa's son-in-law, and so basically it's a Mnangagwa newspaper. They're trying to hoodwink Zimbabweans, but it's clear that Mnangagwa wants to stay in office. He wants to extend his rule, and if he fails, he wants to put one of his family members to be the president of Zimbabwe, and this should not be allowed. And the people that are talking about Mnangagwa staying on must be brought into line. ZANU-PF must bring these people into line. They cannot be allowed to continue with these speeches that they're making about Mnangagwa staying in office. So I just want to show you what I showed you yesterday. This is a very serious matter. People saying Mnangagwa must stay in after his term is ended. So I don't want to keep playing that thing. You can clearly see it, it's everywhere. Mnangagwa is mobilizing a lot of people to make him stay in office. He doesn't want to quit, and Mnangagwa doesn't want to leave because he is benefiting from corruption. So Mnangagwa's corruption is well known around Zimbabwe. What has been happening now is very corrupt, and that is why Mnangagwa doesn't want to leave. But I think ZANU-PF right now should make a public statement. So General Chiwenga, who is next in line, should actually be very strong on this issue. He must get his own people to speak regarding Mnangagwa and his plans to stay in office. The cases around Mnangagwa and Wikno Chivayo have not been investigated. The cases against Mnangagwa and Chigumba have not been investigated. We cannot have a country that operates the way that Zimbabwe is operated. So basically the story from the Newsday, where Mnangagwa is forcing them to apologize, is a sign that Mnangagwa just wants to cover up. But in reality, on Saturday, you're going to see that the youths are going to gather and they're going to make statements that they want Mnangagwa to stay in office. So this is not right. This is terrible. Mnangagwa's behavior is not in line with what should be done by a president. If someone is leaving, it's very simple. Just make a statement that I'm going to be leaving. Slow down. Let's see Mnangagwa stepping back from the public office, and he must appoint a successor to say, this is the person that is going to come in office after I've left. So we're going to be talking about this every day. Mnangagwa should not be allowed to change his statement. He's already said he's leaving, so Mnangagwa must leave. He must not stay, and we must make sure that we remind him daily that he said he's going to leave office. Then let me quickly go through some other stories. We've got a very sad story that happened in South Africa. So I'm going to be showing you the pictures right now. So in South Africa, 11 children have, there was a memorial yesterday for 11 children that died in a car accident. So Scholar Transport was crashed into by a truck or by a bakkie. 11 children died, and the memorial service was held for them yesterday. These children are coming from one school, and this school is called Rocklands Primary School. So all these children passed away, and only one child has been identified because of the severity of the accident, and one child survived this accident. And so they are waiting DNA tests before they can bury the children. The driver of the bakkie, of the Scholar Transport, also died in the accident, and therefore this is very sad for the whole community. One family lost 4 children in this accident, and this was the first day that this family used that taxi. They'd moved from another one to this one because it kept delaying them from getting to school. So in South Africa, some schools are very far away from where the children stay. That is why they have to go into Scholar Transport. And the family I'm talking about here is the Hlalele family, who lost 4 children in this accident. And the driver of the Scholar Transport also passed away, Nkosinathi Mphakude was killed also in the same accident when a speeding bakkie crashed into the children Scholar Transport. So a very sad story that happened in South Africa this last week. And then in other stories, 14 people have been arrested after kidnapping a Zimbabwean businessman in South Africa, in Gauteng. And these include 3 Chinese and 2 Mozambican. They kidnapped the Zimbabwean man, businessman, and started to withdraw money from his bank account. They were also swiping cash from his bank account. And this is very common in South Africa. If you are a businessman, there's a syndicate kidnapping people and demanding money from the family and withdrawing money from their bank accounts. This is very common in South Africa. Then, and in another case, prominent Zimbabwean socialite Matthew Msengezi has been arrested just a day after he was released from, or after he was acquitted. So Matthew Msengezi has been in jail for over a week after he crossed some ZANU-PF officials, and he was released and acquitted, made to pay $150 fine for culpable homicide. But after he was released, he was arrested again by the Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission and is back in prison. So I don't know what that is all about. There's a big fight going on within the ZANU-PF guys there. Then in an entertainment story, DJ Fantan and his wife, Gamuchirai, are in court again. Gamuchirai is saying Fantan is not paying any maintenance. So she was seeking $300 a month, but the court has ordered DJ Fantan to pay only $100 a month. Gamuchirai says DJ Fantan is not taking care of his children. He only buys sweets, Cerevita, and Mazoe orange for the children, especially after she moved in with a new husband. So that is what she says. She's saying that DJ Fantan is a person who doesn't take care of his kids. Now, I want to go to probably my last story here. This is to do with the Great Zimbabwe University. So the Great Zimbabwe University has advertised the position of the Pro-Vice Chancellor. And this is a very interesting position because there has been contention at the Great Zimbabwe University over the position of Pro-Vice Chancellor. And we've published this story a lot about the Pro-Vice Chancellor of Great Zimbabwe University because obviously the Vice Chancellor, Rungano Zobo, was on leave, and there were complains that Gwatidzo, so Pro-Vice Chancellor, was not appointed, and a lady called Gwatidzo over there was being accused of running down the Great Zimbabwe University. However, they've now put out an advert for the position of Pro-Vice Chancellor. This position is critical, and there's been a lot of contention about why it was taking so long to advertise it. But now it has been advertised, and they say they want a full professor to take up this position. So I'm going to put up this advert on Gambakwe. If you want to be a Pro-Vice Chancellor at the Great Zimbabwe University, you can go over there and try your luck. So these are some of the stories that are very interesting. Universities, they are centers of politics. So many people in the universities are always talking about politics and also behaving in a political manner. But the Great Zimbabwe University, I think they're doing quite well. They're one of the most prominent universities. They've built out a good reputation for themselves. And I will hope to visit one day and see what exactly it looks like there at the Great Zimbabwe University. I now want to look at the newspapers. I want to see if there's anything in the newspaper. So we want to start with the Herald newspaper. I want to see if there's anything in the Herald newspaper or if they've published. Those guys are getting slower and slower. So the Herald newspaper used to be fast, but now they're very slow. I think they're slackening up. And when I look at the news, it's no longer like before. So I don't know if the new appointments of the editor, the new editor who they appointed, maybe is not like the old editor. So right now the Herald isn't published, the Chronicle isn't published. Very slow. News moves very fast. And I'm shocked, but we still have a newspaper that isn't published by 5 a.m. You should be having your newspaper on already by 1 a.m. You should be able to see what is in the news. Right. I think the Chronicle newspaper is published. So let's go through what is in the Chronicle newspaper very quickly. I'm going to look at the high level. And as usual, I want to look at an interesting story. The Chronicle newspaper normally publishes stories that are different. So I want you to see this story that they've published here. I'm going to present here on my screen. So let's look at a human story, a story which is very close to the people in the community. So that is what I like about the Chronicle. They normally publish stories that you are talking about people in the community. So let's look about this story. Leaving South Africa for Zimbabwe, startup pays for Bulawayo couple. Okay, so with 50 plastic chairs, a few tables, and dream to start a catering company, a couple from Bulawayo's Pilanda Baselva left their South Africa base to start a catering and mobile toilets business from their home, which today competes with well-established entities. Mr. Joyful Hlabangana and his wife Melody could not wait to resign from their jobs in the neighboring country as they were determined to start a new life back home from scratch. So this is the story that I like here, which is in the Chronicle newspaper. You can go and check it out. And I'm not educated, but that hasn't stopped me from dreaming big. With hard work and perseverance, everything in life is possible. So that is Mr. Joyful Hlabangana and his wife Melody. That is the story in the Chronicle newspaper. You can go and check it out. I think you can also go to chronicle.co.za to check out the story. And then obviously, I'm not going to be reading some of the stories about Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa thinks he can write a letter to America when he's got so many problems here in Zimbabwe. So I don't think it makes sense for Mnangagwa to say anything about anything that happens in America. You see, I don't even talk about what happens in America because it makes no sense. I know nothing about what's happening in America. Myself, I'm probably going to be in the States in November to cover the elections. So let's hope everything goes well. You see me over there, and you guys will get more information about what's happening from people on the ground. So I hope to be on the ground in November. So that is November, just before the elections in America. Then obviously, I want to conclude with this story on the third term is going to be with us for a very, very long time. But what is even bigger is today, SADC is going to be in Zimbabwe. So SADC is coming to Zimbabwe to inspect the facilities. You know that the hotel rooms for presidents are not complete. This is the biggest story this week. Mnangagwa has totally failed to prepare for SADC summit. He's gone out and wanted to be SADC chairman. All that is meaning nothing because Mnangagwa has failed to prepare for the SADC presidents who are going to be coming to Zimbabwe for the SADC summit. We're probably going to have a virtual summit, or we're going to have the summit moving to a different country. It's going to be very embarrassing for Mnangagwa, and he has moved the presidents to Rainbow Towers Hotel in Harare. This is a disaster. Mnangagwa spent so much money with different companies from outside the country, and now he's moving the presidents to this hotel, which I'm displaying here. It makes no sense. This hotel does not have parking. It's got no facilities for presidents to stay here. And if there are protests, the presidents are going to be trapped here. This is just one street away from Harare CBD. If protesters come and gather around this hotel, you're going to see a disaster. And most presidents are not going to allow themselves to stay in this hotel. Mnangagwa, his plans are failing every day. Mnangagwa is destroying our country. Mnangagwa arikuuraya vanhu nenzara. And this is happening right in front of our face. We see it every day. Things falling apart in our country. Let me look at the comments very quickly before I close and then run to my gym. Mnangagwa achamanya achatiza brute rake imbava. My deepest condolences to South African families who lost their children in the school combi. Yes, very sad. 11 children have passed away, and the accident was so horrific that they have had to do DNA tests. And then Mkoma Paradzai saying Chiwenga must wake up. Yes, Chiwenga, if he wants to be president of Zimbabwe, must wake up. But what I would suggest to Chiwenga is work with the people. The next person that is going to take over in Zimbabwe has got so much opportunity. They're going to do so well. Zimbabwe is going to become a jewel, and that person is going to make history. Because to fix Zimbabwe is very easy. All you have to do is to fix the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, the currency, allow cash to flow in the ATMs, stop corruption, and work with the opposition. At the moment, Mnangagwa is only thinking about arresting people, about beating people up, and is refusing to have dialogue. So the next person that comes into office, just have dialogue, and everything will work. And then Mkoma Peter saying that country's case are prayers really working or just belief. And then Mkoma Bongani is saying being a Zimbabwean is an embarrassment. Thank you, Ryan and Brian, for being the first to watch. So I'd like to thank everyone who has watched here. We've had a short broadcast today. And what I'm going to do is I'll run the gym. As I said, I'm going to be traveling this week again so that we get prepared for what is coming in August. We don't know what is going to happen because SADC is going to make a decision this week. So I would like us to stop making any announcements until we see what SADC does. If SADC says the presidents are going to be in Harare at Rainbow Towers, guys, you know what to do. It's going to be very interesting. This is going to be like manna from heaven if the presidents are going to be at Rainbow Towers. This is going to be the best opportunity ever to show the whole world the protest that will happen in Zimbabwe if the presidents leave at Rainbow Towers is going to be epic. You've never seen anything of that nature before. So guys, just wait and see what happens. If that is the case, the presidents are going to be at Rainbow Towers, this is a massive opportunity for you guys who want to organize protests. Because basically you don't have to travel a long way to get heard by the presidents of SADC countries. But vazhinji venyu munotya zvinotyisa. Kutya kwenyu kunotyisa. You mustn't be afraid. The presidents of SADC, when they are in Zimbabwe, if you protest, no one is going to be killed. So that is why I'm saying it's an opportunity. Mnangagwa has already failed to put the presidents far away. He's going to be having to put them right next to town. And all you have to do is go in a combi. And we can easily get 10,000 people inside the Harare city center. And I'm going to be there in exactly 1 month's time, which is the 17th of August. You're going to see me in Harare, without a doubt. And it's going to be amazing. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. And we're going through and we're going into a very, very interesting period in our country of Zimbabwe. Things are just about to change, but everyone must play their part. So thank you very much for watching, and a good day to all the people that are on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Twitter.